Hey, hi, hello, welcome back, Alexandrian Codex. It's 3:55 p.m. on Friday, July 28, 2013. 2013, oh brother, I wish, no, 2023. We're gonna be taking a look at Green New Deal Simulator today. Now, I feel like I really missed the boat on this one. This game came out in May 1st, May Day, very appropriate for this developer. I did not notice it until this past week for, well, probably a lot of reasons, but I was really excited to dive into this and take a look at it, but I was feeling a little under the weather that day and decided, I'm not going to stream this today. Maybe I'll just do a test run, I'll stream tomorrow. And then I got a fever for the next 3 or 4 days, so we're doing it now. So without any further ado, let's dive in here. So Green New Deal Simulator is very much in the vein of Democratic Socialism Simulator from a few years ago, same developer. So you'll catch on pretty quickly. Alright, let's turn the mic down a little bit. Yeah, okay, perfect. So, the tutorial didn't kick on immediately, so there's a few mechanics we're gonna have to play around with. I'm gonna work clockwise? Sure, yeah, let's do that. This bar at the top represents our timeline, basically. Every time we take an action, whether that be skipping, or using something, or I believe holding something counts as an action as well. And cards will specifically say if they don't trigger actions, this meter will tick up by 1. Once it reaches the skull, we have reached the end of the game and have failed. You have however long this is. The ticks are not delimited to keep it somewhat ambiguous. Over here on the right hand side, we have a carbon emissions, greenhouse gas emissions meter. It starts full. We want to empty this. This is music loud. Buddy, it does not feel music loud to me. Here's our deck. We start out with a certain number or certain types of cards. We can play cards on specific regions, not states, and they will take certain effects. Sometimes they will be more effective in regions with certain traits, like Wind Farm here is more effective in windy regions, like the Northern Great Plains and I don't know what to call this region. It's not the Northwest, because this is I guess the interior Northwest, because this is the Pacific Northwest. Sure, I'll go with that. And typically there are downsides or complications as well. There's also an associated cost with every card, but that's not delimited here. You really delimited? Indicated on the card, you just gotta figure that out according to the meter on the left-hand side. There are a few resources we're playing around with, right? We are keeping track of emissions. We are keeping track of money, though money's not really a finite resource here. We are dealing with fossil energy, green energy, and then wait for it to tick over, gasoline and natural gas. So typically you have to transition gasoline and natural gas to fossil energy to green energy. You cannot easily go from gasoline and natural gas over to just green energy. You have to convert it to electricity, whether that be electric vehicles, which, spoilers, is not a good option, or other solutions, right? So it's a multi-phase transition. There's also, as shown by these little anthropomorphized animals in every state, unemployment, or employment to take into account in different regions. If this meter gets full, then this region will not allow you to enact policy, as you need to address that first. And as disruption tends to affect adjacent regions. For regions that are bordering a lot of others, that can get out of hand very quickly. Okay, I think I've gone on enough about the gist here. We can just play for a little while. Windy Farm, it's the same fucking thing. Electrification program. Tax breaks and grants electrify heating in the building. In buildings, reduces natural gas consumption by 50%. Now remember, this is what we're talking about. Gasoline and natural gas. So a good candidate for this would be someone with high gasoline and natural gas. And surprise, surprise, they all have high natural gas. We're just gonna throw it in the Pacific Northwest here. Pump storage hydropower is fucking incredible. Later. It is not useful right now, as I understand it. Pumped storage hydropower. It works like a battery, making intermittent energy sources more reliable. It boosts green energy in all regions connected by high rail capacities by 10%, and can be only used in places that are mountainous, like the Pacific Northwest, the interior Northwest. There you go, Alex, your own lexicon, and Appalachia. However, as we don't have high capacity lines built right now, it's only affecting that one region. As you can see, it makes 10% is not a lot. So I'm just gonna hold on to that. It's still gonna count as an action, but I can always sell it later. Maybe it's a mistake to hold that, not just sell it immediately. I guess it would have been smarter to sell that immediately. It's not really taking into consideration the action economy. Just card economy, which you don't need to do. Okay, yeah, Yep, that revelation will improve my performance quite a bit. High capacity power lines are incredible. This spreads surplus future green energy projects across all connected nodes. So these are all the possible nodes that you can construct, and creating a network of all the regions is super ideal. That way you can use pump storage hydropower or similar abilities to benefit everything all at once. So for me, this is an A tier or S tier priority, is an intercontinental power system. I like to use the northern Midwest here is our hub, as it has the most number of connections, and the interior Northwest both have 4 connections. This is just more central. See, we have 3 connections coming out of the Great Lakes region. We have 4 coming out of Florida, but it's really isolated here at the bottom of the map. Again, 4 coming out of Appalachia, but again, it's fairly isolated. This is central enough that I like to build everything towards this. So, let's start with that. Public transportation is pretty fucking good. Affordable electric transit to reduce gasoline consumption. Now, this is twice as effective. I'm misspeaking like crazy because the fever brain isn't quite gone yet. In densely populated regions, it'll disrupt oil refining regions. So if we pick it up, we can see California, Great Lakes, East Coast, New England, yeah, cry about it, New York, are all densely populated. And we can tell by what gets mad that our oil producing states or oil refining states are Florida and Texas. Seems about right. I'm gonna drop this on California. I should have just sold this immediately. Oh, okay, so holding it and then selling it doesn't take an action. So holding it is just, okay, yeah, there's no problem for doing that. I think each card sells for a different value, but I'm not 100% on that. Solar farms are pretty unremarkable. A large grid, a photovoltaic panels that absorb energy from the sun and convert it into electricity. It's twice as effective in sunny regions, but it disrupts neighboring regions. Sunny regions include California, the Southwest, Texas, and Florida. For our sake here, one thing you want to take into that I like to take into consideration is the unemployment here. That makes Texas very, very appealing here. Because it's about the same regardless of where we put it. So I'm going to put it in Texas just to combat the unemployment there. High-speed rail is goated. Train lines that reduce gas consumption and facilitate commuting. Now, it doesn't say by how much, but it is not percentile like the... oh god, whatever the hell the previous card was. This can reduce it to 0. And it affects all neighboring regions. However, I can't play it right now because this is indicating we don't have enough money. So I'm going to put that on hold. Clean biomass plant is, seems pretty good. I'm actually not sure about this one, but I think it's pretty good. Produces green energy by burning plant-based materials. Emissions are captured and turned into biochar fertilizer, which is just a great closed-loop system. Where are our agricultural regions? Well, we have the Great Lakes Pacific, or Great Lakes Midwest, and we have the Florida region here. Now, again, keeping an eye on unemployment, Great Lakes is doing fine, Florida's not so happy. Tech labs, green tech labs are research labs to develop new technologies for every transition. It unlocks a whole new card type, which is then added into your deck. It's twice as expensive, it's half as expensive to play in regions with research universities like California, the Pacific Northwest, Great Lakes, East Coast, or New York, or New England. I tend to just not use this card. So we're gonna sell that. As we've emptied our deck, it gets reshuffled, and we're back to high-speed rail. So I'm gonna play our old high-speed rail first. And again, an ideal place for this is states with a lot of adjacency. So like we talked about, this is a great option, this is a great option, this is a great option, this is a great option. I like to start with the west and just move over to the east. I don't know if there's really any reason to do that. I just find it aesthetically nice to do that. And bam, with that, California has transitioned entirely off of gasoline and natural gas. We can't play this. I'd like to hold on to it. Stored hydropower, again, is great. Later on, sell it. Clean biomass, we throw it in Florida. Solar farm in... now, Texas is doing great on unemployment. So, Arizona or California. I'm gonna do California. Power lines? Hell yeah, baby. Let's just start getting shit linked up. Sell the tech lab. Now, as you get further and further into the game, you will, I think, get more and more event cards. Event cards are generally bad. This one, Drought, is not horrible. They tend to not be hugely penalizing, but they are noticeably impactful. Climate change is causing a weather crisis and widespread crop failure. And honestly, a lot of these hit Texas. Public transportation. Let's throw this up in New England. Electrification program. I'm just gonna sell it. I don't care enough about it to hold on to it right now. Okay, so we could play this here in the northern Midwest, just normal effect. But I could also use it here, and you can see that the surplus is going to the adjacent states, whereas here there's no surplus, it's not going to the adjacent states. Again, this is why getting these networks down as early as possible is so impactful. I am going to play it here in the northern Midwest, primarily because of unemployment. High-speed rail, POG. Now, playing it here is still worthwhile, but it doesn't affect California anymore, so this is only affecting 3 states, so this isn't as impactful as it could be. This is impacting 4 states, pretty worthwhile, and we have some pretty heavy unemployment issues within that area, so yeah, let's throw this down. Solar farm is, this is actually worth holding on to, I think, because Arizona and Texas really need a break. Yeah, that ain't happening. Yeah. Yeah, let's throw it in the American Southwest. Wind farm, I think, yeah, can't afford, sell it. Green Tech Lab. I want to sell it, but I think we get more out of this than we have space left here, so I'm going to hold it. Clean biomass, we throw that bitch in Florida. Electrification program. Now this reduces it by 50%, which, as you can see here, doesn't get rid of it entirely, it just reduces it by 50%. So let's look at where this will make the greatest impact. It looks like Appalachia or the East Coast. East Coast, we know that we can use public transportation on. So let's throw it in Appalachia. Pump storage hydropower. I don't think so, dog. I think that's a skip for me. High capacity power lines, hell yeah, get California in here. Clean biomass, throw it in Florida. Wind farm. Let's do it up, baby. I don't want to play it here because of the unemployment in Texas. Here, sure. Automation, drivers, and warehouse workers being replaced by robots. It's the Great Lakes regions. Robots are something bosses make up to pay us less. Now, if I try to play public transportation... Oh, it isn't actually that bad. Okay, this looks full to me, but I guess not. Let's play public transportation here all the same, just to get that unemployment down. I know Texas is looking mighty sad right now. They tend to. That's okay. Connect up the Southwest with the northern Midwest. And we'll throw down some rail lines. Right here is perfect to help Texas out. And now the Great Lakes region has had its natural gas and gasoline resolved. Solar farm, where do we throw it? That's fine. Also fine. I think Texas, honestly. It's such a hissy fit state that... Sure. Electrification program. Texas. Yeah, but Texas doesn't have any unemployment, and this is really useful for addressing unemployment. I think I may sell this. Bruh. I don't want this. Hold it. High capacity power lines, we won. Alright, Texas, welcome to the club. Let's get windy, baby. Clean biomass. Electrification. Sell this. Hold this. Green Tech Lab, son of a bitch. Okay, we're electrifying something. Who's got unemployment? You. I've been throwing a lot at you. You get thrown in here. Solar farm. Bullshit job crisis. Useless and or obsolete office workers being laid off. Shit, dude, would hit California. Public transportation. Now, if we look at our available options, East Coast. Definitely where to go with this. High-speed rail is my rotten soldier. Maybe? Maybe. There are no longer any regions I can play this in that affect all 4 adjacent regions, right? 3 is the greatest effectivity we're gonna have. Okay, then we start throwing it back over here. Sell that, and public transportation. Potentially useful? As we can combat unemployment we can completely get rid of dependence in either of these regions. We could also put in an area that will be negatively affected, like Texas or Florida, which helps to mitigate the downside. So I think I will actually play this in Texas. Very expensive card to play. Wind farm, can we actually afford this? We can. That's nuts, dude. Okay, I'm gonna say I can't afford this, can I? That is actually a shame. Queen Biomass Plant is pretty good. Link you up. High-speed rail again. Solar farm, sell it for money. I hate you. Fuck. Sell. Man, we are getting enough that this is kind of worthwhile now. Like, this is a lot of states that are benefiting. Yeah, why not? Electrification program. Even if I use this in a state that barely has any, it doesn't get rid of it entirely, so... And it's not really worth it to sell it, is it? Okay, who has high unemployment and has at least, like, an eighth? Appalachia? Texas? Southwest. Seems about right. Alright, let's hit Appalachia. Climate refugees. An influx of refugees at the southern border, fleeing war, famine, and disasters exacerbated by climate change. Crisis do be the border, though. Let's link you up to Appalachia. Public transport. Is this... It would get rid of it entirely in Texas. Yeah, that's a lot of money, though. It would also completely... I think we have to play this in the Southwest. Oh, great, sell it. Queen Biomass, Florida. Wind farm. Interior Northwest. Solar farm. Can I actually afford this? I can't but hold it. Electrification. I'm kind of over it. Solar farm. How's unemployment doing here, boyos? Texas. Fair enough. Green Tech Lab. Sell it. High speed rail. Bam. Okay. We're not doing carbon taxes. Pacific Northwest. Interior Northwest. Southwest. California, I think Interior Midwest, Great Lakes are all dealt with. We got Texas, Florida's damn close, Appalachia, East Coast, and New York to transition. Now, carbon tax is really interesting. It will downsize businesses, or they'll move it so unemployment goes up, but this does not advance time on plate or skip. What it does is it's a corporate tax on carbon emissions, increases revenues from skipping cards. Right now we could play it in Texas, right? And you can see the amount of money we will make from skipping cards goes up, but I don't think it's worth it. I really don't think it's worth it. Because unemployment really starts becoming a severe problem the later the game goes on. It's it's the same damn thing. Wildfire. Changes in climate are leading to longer and more destructive fire seasons. RIP PNW. That's close to home, baby. Solar farm. How's unemployment looking? California or Arizona would benefit greatly from these. Let's do it in the American Southwest. High-speed rail we're keeping. Selling this for now, but it's getting to the point where I can't keep getting rid of that. High-speed rail in Florida would resolve Florida. None of these would quite be resolved if I play them here, though, but it does mean that a second one would completely take care. Yeah, let's play it in Appalachia. Public transport. I don't think I can afford this. No. Does that mean that selling all cards is worth the same amount? Does make sense. Okay, sell that. Queen biomass plant. Now, this has become a lot less worthwhile. It's cheap, which makes it worthwhile, but as Florida no longer has emissions that I'm trying to, or no longer has natural gas and gasoline I'm trying to transition off, nor does the Great Lakes region, my motivation to use this consistently drops significantly. Green Tech Lab? Bruh. No. Electrification program. Alright, well, throw it in Texas. High capacity lines. Here, let's link up Florida. California. We do not use carbon tax. Hurricane! I'm gonna sell this Green Tech Lab. Devastating hurricanes are becoming more frequent due to climate change, affecting the East Coast, fair enough. Queen biomass plant, Great Lakes, high capacity power lines, augers. Let's get New England tied into Appalachia. Now it's just the East Coast we're waiting on. High speed rail is a keeper. Sell this, though I really shouldn't be selling it at this point. High speed rail to, like I was talking about earlier, knock out our gas and natural gas usage on the eastern seaboard. Now it's just Texas. Wind farm, I mean, I can play it, and it would help. Oh, sell it. Electrification program, sell it. Public transportation, Texas. All right. Now, all we have to worry about is producing green electricity. We don't have to worry about weaning ourselves off of fossil fuels as far as transportation goes. We just have to work on our electricity grid. And you can look at the amount of time we have left and go, oh, Alex, I don't know, but baby, you'll be fine. Rising sea levels, more and more people are moving out of coastal regions. Yeah, Miami's gone, but it's still very bad news. All right, let's start using these. So, pump storage hydropower can only be played in mountainous regions. Thank God that Appalachia counts as mountainous, because them coal miners having a hard fucking time. Hold you, sell you. Here we go. We haven't seen this before, have we? Okay. Thankfully, I can... Good. We can kind of address our unemployment here, but it becomes more and more of an issue. High-speed rail is a great way to manage unemployment. It spreads unemployment equally throughout all neighboring regions. However, as we won't get the gas consumption reduction, it's only, 50% effective. I'm gonna sell it for now. Green Tech Lab, fuck, I should have kept it. Sell it. Clean biomass plant. Use it. Nuclear plant decommissioning. Old nuclear power plants are being shut down, reducing green energy in the region. In the East Coast, pretty bad. Okay, this is worthless. I'm gonna hold it instead of sell it because we won't get good enough value right now. That drives up unemployment. Can't play here, can't play here. I can play here, and I can play here, so let's do that. Clean mass. Carbon tax, again, no, homie, don't play that. We're all gridded up, so that's not useful anymore. High-speed rail is, again, really only worthwhile for reducing unemployment, so let's reduce unemployment and then plop down a fucking wind farm. Escape from the desert. Global warming is now making desert cities unlivable. People are moving north. Yay. Public transportation. No. Pump storage hydropower. Yes. Yes. Electrification program. No. Green Tech Lab. I guess we'll play this. Fine. I don't really fucking want to, but I guess I will. We'll play it in California. Your unemployment's not really gonna be a problem, though. Great Lakes, I'm gonna keep playing stuff there, so... California, I guess. So playing this card gives you 3 cards to add to your deck. You choose one. Nuclear fusion research, Research nuclear fusion, a highly experimental and unproven energy generation process. Smart grid updates the grid with energy storage. I can't fucking read. I am illiterate. And advanced communication technologies. Boosts green energy in the region and neighboring regions by 15%. Electric vehicles factory. State-owned manufacturer of electric vehicles unlocks EV infrastructure. Disrupts auto manufacturing regions. I guess smart grid, but I'm not really in love with any of them. You can't keep doing this to me. Fine. California again. Nuclear plant commission. Adds a nuclear power plant to the deck. It doesn't advance time when played or skipped. Smart grid. Now, we can see it affects adjacent regions, but then those adjacent regions also affect adjacent regions. The only regions we need to worry about are these right here, so we're just gonna plop it down here. Capital strike. Capitalists are opposing green economy by crashing financial markets. Wild. Never. I don't know what that's like. Electrification program we're gonna skip now, so high-speed rail I can go in here and go, hey buddy, chill the fuck out. Wind farm, pop it down, boyo. We're getting close. Clean biomass plant. We get those. Solar plant we hold. Sell the high-capacity lines. Go ahead and escape from the desert. Where are we going? California. Okay, not really where I want it, but that's okay. We go here. Sell this. Fuck your carbon tax. Solar farm. Yeah, now we're getting in a truly cursed part of the game where I can't play the solar farm right now. Because unemployment's too much of an issue. And I can't play this anywhere because, unemployment starts becoming your largest issue. In my experience at this point in the game. Bullshit job crisis. Yay! More unemployment. Yay! Smart grid. Oh, thank God. Okay. So it's just the Atlantic East Coast we have to deal with. Or what do you even call this region? This is the This is South Carolina, North Carolina, South Virginia, Virginia, not West Virginia. I think DC, Maryland. I really can't tell where this line is. What would I even call that region? Central East Coast, I guess. All right, we can take care of Texas's problem here. All right, and we can go in and look at the solar farm and you. Oh my God. Okay, keep holding that. I can't even use this, so sell it. High capacity lines, fucking sell it. Rising sea levels, love it, love it. Solar farm, oh, hey, I can play a solar farm. Oh my God. Do it again. But this time in Texas, maybe. I was actually able to play cards. It's crazy. Hold on to that. Sell that. Play it here. What do you mean we're not done? What do you mean we're not fucking done? What do you mean? They're all full. Oh, thank God. Getting real close to the wire here. Oh, we made it? Wow. Shouldn't be surprised. You should be. I was getting some bad luck there at the end. I always believed in us. You decarbonize the economy of 118 turns. I think 112 is my record, but 118, not bad. The other industrialized countries didn't want to be worse than the United States and reach zero emissions too. Meanwhile, developing nations learn from our mistakes and are pioneering more sustainable economic models. Still a lot to do to heal the planet, but we're at least on track to keep global warming well below 2 degrees Celsius. Hooray! Yay! Well, you'll be forgiven if the stunning realistic graphics made you forget that this is only a toy simulation. In your human world, things may go less smoothly. Nah! You'll probably have to put up with some wholesome barricades to get to this point. Maybe that'll be the subject of another simulator. Anyway, thank you for playing. That's Green New Deal. Now, there's a lot I didn't touch on and play around with there. You can tell, obviously, I was really reluctant to engage with the green tech labs because I have found that trying to research your way out of this is a dead end. It's a waste of time. I think there's definitely more efficient ways to do this, but rather, I'm not sure there's a much more effective way to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do another play, and this time lean heavily into tech to demonstrate why it's such a bad idea. But if you're watching on YouTube, that'll be tomorrow, I guess. I'm gonna keep streaming, but if you were watching on YouTube, this is it for today. Until tomorrow, I'm gonna say doodle. Take care, see you then, bye-bye.